Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Thursday, October the 27th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only, and he's got a hat on today.
Yeah.
So we're back to normal. It's Mr. Josh Crash Davis. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing well, Coach. Doing well. Had some good lineups last night on NBA.
Yes.
Bobby Portis really played way above what I expected him to. Anthony Edwards, like I said, I thought he was going to have a good game, and he did.
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo, unfortunately, I thought he was a good play, and I think he was. He just got in foul trouble early, so that kind of hurt that play a little bit. And then Vooch, he got into a blowout situation, so those plays were a little bit less than what I expected, but overall, not too bad.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I was a little disappointed for sure. I dove on the Corey Joseph starting news, and sometimes you can overreact a little bit to some of those things, but other things really came through for us. I thought our breakdown was rock solid, and again, Yahoo's my go-to, man. Yahoo gets it done. So that was awesome. For those that have tried Yahoo now and have jumped in there, I'm telling you, I know I sound like a broken record every day, but Yahoo's been pretty damn good. It really has.
It really has. And you had some nice plays too. Anthony Davis was a nice play. Jalen Brunson was lights out. So that was a good play for sure. Yeah.
No question. I wish he was still on the Mavs, though. So does Dirk. Tell him, Dirk.
Yeah.
But great to see everybody today. It's one day away from Friday, so extended weekend coming up here, basically. You could look at it that way. I know it's not a holiday, but why not?
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt. So we've got 4 games tonight, and we'll break them down. We're going to, when we have a smaller slate, it allows us to look at ownership. We'll talk about some defensive team defense, where they rank, pace. We'll look at some ownership numbers and really give you an opportunity, even if you put things through an optimizer or whatever you've done to prepare for this slate, we'll break it down so you can tweak and hand build some lineups and get some winners together. And if you're 150 max entering, it'll also allow you to tweak and do some things there to make your lineup want to take some stuff down. And then tonight at 8 o'clock, Crash and Steven have the NFL Thursday night game coming up. Yeah, so it's going to be a double podcast for us here tonight, and we'll get all that action to you and all those lineups out. If you want to become,
here in about 2 hours we'll be doing that.
It's coming up, and it's a good game for a change too.
Right, exactly.
On really a Thursday game that is actually worth watching.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you want to become a member here at Coach Talk, as you can see scrolling on the bottom of the screen, we have the Lucas Special available. If you want to just try us out, for 3 days, it's a $10 pass, whatever it is that you want to dip your toes in. If tonight's the great night to do the 5-day $19 if you're a football person, because you get Thursday through Monday, so you get all of our football lineups. Just go to dfscoachtalk.com, check it out there. And if you're watching on YouTube, take a second here, give us that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. We've had a ton of views lately, but people are forgetting to hit that thumbs up. And that means a lot to us. We bring this podcast to you 7 days a week in front of the paywall in basketball and the 2 big podcasts in football. And in order to continue to do that, we want to move up that algorithm on YouTube. So hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and the little alert in the corner. That will let you know when any of our podcasts post. Also, if you're watching live on YouTube or on Twitter, you can push the like and retweet there. That's much appreciated, so everybody can check that out as well. So, all right, we're going to break this 4-game slate down. We're going to give a couple of tickets away for the Millie Maker at some point here during the podcast. And we're going to get ready for a takedown. I'm going to call out a takedown coming tonight, Crash.
Okay.
I don't know if it's your lineup or mine or a member. I just think somebody's going large tonight. That's my prediction.
Like I said, we were getting there. We were close last night, so hopefully we can build off last night into tonight.
Yes. Nathan Feudy, you're again the champion, the defending Jeopardy champion, first in the chat. He just snipped out Stacks Money 77. Stacks Money 77. Can you believe the way they priced Luka? Holy cow, 12 grand on DraftKings, 12 grand on Fanduel. But you know what? I mean, you can't blame him. It's probably he's probably worth 12 or 12.3, but man, that makes it a little bit more difficult here at that price. So Earl Tyson, also known as Mike Tyson's going to knock us out if we don't give him some winners. And we know that Earl does not like FanDuel lineups. So we won't even focus on that. Mike B, how are you today, man? Any thoughts on paying up or not on this slate? You know what? That's what we're going to break down today and talk about. Where can we actually go up to? Because we do have some great buy-up opportunities here. For me yesterday, it was more of a even build that got it done. So there's definitely a couple of different strategies that you can make. I don't know. I agree. I was looking at chat real quickly before we jumped in here, though, Crash. And I agree there. I don't know if Luke is going to be in the optimal lineup at that, unless you really nail a couple of super value guys. When you pay $12K for somebody, I mean, you got to get like 80. And then you got to be able, not only on top of that, but you got to be able to choose the value guys to go with them. So we will definitely break that down as we get through this. Our brother Rodney Pollard, how are you, my friend? Good to see you in here with us. Great to see you guys all chatting too. Paint Blank SM, Mr. Dead Presidents, great to have you in here. Niall Simmons, David Dulac, of course, Mr. Dulac. JT is in the house. What else? Emerson Baby Gap Shirt is in there. I always like saying that one. Aloysius 5 is doing well and in with us. Boy from Cali. Yeah, I was calling him out yesterday and he kicked my tail in a head-to-head. We didn't play head-to-head, but he did beat me. So boy from Cali, tip of the cap. But I will get you today. Nathan Feudy. Oh, we already said Nathan Feudy, didn't we?
I think so.
DePrince is in the house. Bev, great to see you again, man. How's it going? Or lady, I should say. Todd lives for Sundays. Great to see you, man. Let's see. Who else? King of Smack. How are you? Great to see you in here with us on this Thursday. Squatch happens. What is up? And I think that's everybody initially here. Great group to start out the podcast here. King of all trades with some great vibes going. We always need those vibes every day to get things rocking and rolling. Yeah, AD was literally 1.8% owned on FanDuel. I know, David. I was loving that. Whenever you get 60 burgers at less than 2%, that does have a tendency to push you over the top. It did for me on Yahoo for sure. So Crash, let's find some of these 60 burgers at less than 2% ownership today.
Sounds like a plan. Yeah.
So let's do this too. Squatch Happens reminded me again. Boy from Cali reminded me earlier. Let's all take 3 seconds and hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. So here we go. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. So no excuse. Everybody's hit it. So thank you. I always have to say hello to Katie before the podcast starts. And I hope she's watching. Good to see you, Katie. All right. King of Smack with the W. All right. On the late slate, coach. Thanks for the tickets. You got it, my friend. Let's do it. King of Smack grabbed a freebie tickets, made some cash. Now let's turn that into some more. King Moses is with us. Oh, open the Red Sea right now, my man. It's King Moses in the house. And it's not Moses Moody either, because there's no Warriors tonight. Oh, yeah, so there is Warriors.
King of Smack won $80 on the late slate. Nice.
Yeah, with his free tickets, he said that he won. Yeah.
Sweet. Very nice.
Bonus tickets. All right. Are you ready, Crash, for this adventure?
Oh, I am.
All right, let's get to it, man. First game on the slate, 7:30 p.m. So we have an extra 30 minutes today. That's sort of cool. By the way, we'll also do a Two Brains FanDuel lineup too at the end and give some picks there because that's due to hit as well. So 7:30 p.m. Dallas Mavericks 1-2, Brooklyn Nets 1-3. So neither team out to particularly the start that they were looking to get out to. Tim Hardaway questionable. Bertans and Ntilikina out. For Brooklyn, we've got Curry, Harris, Morris, and Warren all out. Intriguing game in the first game. We've got Dallas, a road favorite, Crash. That shocked me. I expected Brooklyn to be a 2-point favorite, and Dallas is a 2.5-point favorite. So I was dead wrong there. 225 is the total. And I'll mention this, since we only have 4 games. Let's just think about this for a second. We have this 225 game. We have a 217.5 game, a 227, and then the late slate night game 236. So something to consider because we know those possessions are bringing a lot of DFS points every single possession. So an interesting spread there, basically a pick'em game, if you will. And so let me throw a few stats at you, Crash. I think let's try this sequentially today and see how this works. I'll give you the game set. I'm going to give you the ownership in that game. I'm going to give you a defensive rating for the team and pace. And then I'm going to give you the ownership. So I'm going to give you everything I got here to throw into the bag. And then I'm going to have you break down the game with those numbers in tow. How does that sound?
Throwing the kitchen sink at me. I got it.
Throwing the kitchen sink at you. See how much that brain of yours, now that you got the lid back on it, and we can't have any of those avocado and lemon head and all that crazy talk that we had yesterday. We'll see if that can keep it all in there. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. We'll start off with a little bit of ownership here. So in this game, I'm just going to, these are the guys from this game that are in that top like 30, 35 ownership. So the 28.5 is the highest. We're talking Draftkings. Try the highest projected ownership initially. And we'll go down to about 14%. Talk about that first real strong flight. So in this Brooklyn-Dallas game, the third highest player projected ownership is Ben Simmons at 26%. So a little surprising there, considering he has difficulty scoring the basketball for sure.
Yeah.
Then we go down to Luka at 18.5%. So he's under 20% because of that 12K tag, which is understandable. I think a lot of people are going to be afraid of that number. Then you go down to Kevin Durant. He's 2K cheaper than Mr. Doncic at 10K. He's 16.8 projected ownership. And then Royce O'Neal getting a lot of early love at only $4,700 at 15%. And Spencer Dinwiddie, I guess people still expecting Hardaway not to play or to be limited. And Spencer is cheap, $5,500. He smashed Force the other night. He's 14%. So that's the initial ownership glance at it. Now we'll look at the pace for the game. Dallas playing super slow, 28th in the league in pace. Part of that is the defensive efficiency has been pretty solid, and they're playing slower, protecting the ball. So that definitely is a pace down situation for the Nets. Brooklyn not playing as fast as they did, just right square in the middle at 15th. So as most games are, it's a pace up for Dallas. Defensive efficiency, Dallas still in the top half of the league at 13th. That's where Brooklyn's lost 3 of 4. They are 26th defensively, Crash. That's not going to get it done.
Sure not. Nope.
Last thing, usage, which is an extremely important piece that we're going to look at, and we look at a ton here. And by the way, big shout out to Basketball Reference, because if you want some in-depth numbers, go to basketball-reference.com. Doesn't cost anything. Dig in, go in there, look at the teams, go to advanced stats. You can get usage. You can take players on and off the floor to see how the usage shifts. I mean, it's a fantastic tool. And, you can grill me on 20 different things that I look at to see what my expectations are for a game. And no matter what those answers are, usage is going to be one of those top 3 every day, because I want to know who's going to have the ball in their hands, who's going to have the opportunities. And that's key in this game. All right, Crash. Luka's over 40%. He's at 41.1% usage. That's the highest in the league. And, that's why he's 12K, but it also makes you think, is he worth the 12K? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do think he is, but I think once again, we're looking at a site dependent situation here. I don't know from what I've gotten to so far if I'm going to be able to fit him in on either Fanduel or Draftkings, but I was able to get him in on Yahoo.
Yeah.
That's the one site where I could, but everywhere else it was just too much. I mean, I was going to have to take half of the players that I liked and, put that salary into Luka and then play 4 guys that I don't really like. So I'm just not going to go there on FanDuel and DraftKings.
I mean, to some extent, I'm with you, because, it's not like you can just buy down generally in one spot to be able to afford 12K. And you can get to guys 2,000 or 3,000 less that are starters too. It's not like, you're sacrificing 600-800 salary. I mean, he's like Durant, for example, is $2,000.
Exactly. Not just starters, but I mean, if you're looking at DraftKings, SGA is almost 3,000 cheaper, and he's putting up very similar numbers.
He really is.
So, I mean, I don't see that.
But that's on the reverse side of it, from a leverage standpoint of what he's doing, what his usage is, his ownership's going to be lower because everybody's thinking like we are.
Right.
Damn, 12K, I can get a 9K guy with, sort of similar numbers, not quite, but, and it is a quandary today. Christian Wood's still really getting it done off the bench, man. For a guy that's not starting, 31.3% usage. Can you believe that?
I know. I do like Christian Wood. I think that he is a good value play, relatively speaking with what we're talking about here. But I think that he is a good value from Luka. If you wanted to play, SGA or Morant and Wood or something like that, I think that's very doable. I also think that Maxi Kleber, I think, is actually a good value play. He's kind of in a similar spot to where Bobby Portis was last night, and I don't expect anything like that. But at 4,000 on DraftKings, 3,900 on FanDuel, $12 on Yahoo, if we can get, even 25 to 30 fantasy points, I mean, that's pretty good value.
Well, let me see if this changes your mind, because I'm not going to go there. And here's one of the reasons why. All right, I'll finish off the usage with Dallas, and maybe that convinces you. Again, I think Dinwiddie, a good play if Hardaway's out, because Hardaway's 23% usage, Dinwiddie 22. If they're both in, I'm not going to go there because they're really doing the same role. If one of them's out, the other's a great play. JaVale McGee's the guy that you got to start thinking about a little bit, Crash. I know he doesn't get a ton of minutes, but he's actually over 20% usage. I don't think JaVale McGee has been over 20% usage in his career. So they're using him when he's in there. So that is something to think about. But then listen to this. 13% Compazzo. Reggie Bullock, who's just can't drop the. I don't play Reggie Bullock. I told everybody that the other day. He can't shoot right now at all.
Yeah.
He's 10%. Maxi Kleber, 9% usage. And this one's going to blow your mind. They signed him to like an $80 million contract too. Dorian Finney-Smith, great defender, great guy to have on your squad. 7% usage. Isn't that nuts?
That is nuts. And this is also nuts. On FanDuel, he's more. He's 3,600 on DraftKings, 4,500 on FanDuel. JaVale McGee projected ownership 0.1%.
I know. I know. And I
You
mean,
could
when you
really have the
see,
lowest owned player on the slate with JaVale McGee.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a play for sure by any stretch, but the
Mm-hmm.
numbers start, doing some talking. And, you give me him he's going to be efficient. And don't be surprised if he throws a 4 or 5 block shot game on there in the mix. And then all of a sudden you got a guy, we're talking, we always love to try to find those 1 or 2% owned guys that
Right.
can break the slate. And again, I'm not saying that he's the one, but at least it's a consideration. And
Mm-hmm.
then let me hit real quick the Brooklyn usage, and then you can take off with dissecting this game. Kevin Durant at a very healthy 34% usage, and Kyrie at 30. That always keeps both of them in play. Nick Claxton at 16, and his backup that sort of splits with him, Day'Ron Sharpe, is also 16. Patty Mills, 15. Ben Simmons, who everybody's going bonkers for today, 13 and a half.
Not me.
And a guy that can't shoot?
No.
I don't know. I know everybody keeps saying, all right, he's going to throw up I saw he's stuff in chat already, 10, 10, 10, or 8, 8, 8. Or, I mean, when you got to start begging for 8 points, real points,
right.
I don't know if that's, I want a chalk guy that number.
Yeah. No, I mean, he could. But Dallas is probably one of the last teams that I would want to play him against. I mean, I respect their defense, and I don't really want to play anyone on Brooklyn, honestly. I just think that Dallas's defense is too good.
And here's the other guy, Crash, that's driving me nuts. If I see one more post about Royce O'Neal, I'm about ready to lose my mind. Everybody thinks he's in this new situation there, and he's just such a phenomenal play every night. He's at 13% usage. Right. And that's another guy that can't shoot. I mean, he'll make a few threes, but no, don't get caught up in these DFS, tidal waves of all of a sudden this guy's a great play. We know who Royce O'Neal is. He's a fine NBA player as far as a defensive stopper. He'll knock a few threes down. No usage, no offensive plays run for him, none of that. So I'm just saying, I know I trash some guys and sometimes they have good games, but, I just got to say it like it is, because you may play him 5 times. He's probably only going to come through for you 1 out of those 5. And I just makes no sense to me. So that's every stat I got for you right now, Crash. So tell me, with those numbers, how are you going to play this sucker?
Okay, Coach. Do you know how many times, before I get to that, do you know how many times he scored 40 DraftKings points in the last 20 games?
Who? O'Neal?
Yeah, O'Neal.
I'll say 1. Zilch. Yeah. Not surprising.
Yeah. 0. So why you would chase that? I have no idea. I mean,
it's one of those momentum things. You hear it enough, and I know people listen all over into different things and posts and everything. I don't know. Right. It takes on a life of its own sometimes. It's hilarious. All right, before you do it, since I have a little delay, I want to greet some of the other folks that jumped in here, because I think I finished with King of All Trades. Squatch Happens. Our man Todd Lives for Sundays. But then we have, I did say King Moses. Okay, he's in there. Doug L, my man Doug L's in there. Rose is in. KJ, how are you, KJ? What's going on? How are you doing? That's what projections are for. LOL, absolutely.
Yeah.
Projections. Rose found a way to Luca, or Duca, as Rose called him, but that's okay. He's Duca, Dookie, if he plays bad, I guess. Yeah. Absolute power. All right, here's one I've not seen before, Crash. We may have a newbie. Sycamore 82.
I don't remember that one.
Huh. Oh, wow. I'm here because Stochastic doesn't have their live going. Well, you know what? You're going to love it here, man. Come with us every day. You can always listen to them too. I'm not trashing them by any stretch.
Right.
Maybe they're avoiding us because we got the momentum going here. Who knows? No, I doubt it. I'm teasing. They are number 1, but we're chasing them down, Crash. We're coming after them. Sycamore, we hope you're here for good. 82, I like that number. I think that's the year Crash was born, correct?
Yes, it is.
It is. And it's the year I graduated high school. So go to heck. I don't care. It doesn't matter, Crash. Let's see. Who else is in here? Eat the Chalk, Boy from Cali. He's a chalk player. We all know Boy from Cali's a chalk player.
Right.
King
Hey, Coach.
Moses. Muscala Knight. Oh, my God.
Can you hold on 1 second, Coach? I need to go check on something.
Yes, you have a good time. I'll say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Let's see. I noticed something about Ben Simmons important. He's bending over, tying, and stretch out his back. Yes, that is a good point. And he also, I read something from a beat writer there, which I scour. By the way, if you're ever looking for inside info, scour Twitter for the beat writers for these teams. I mean, it's a lot easier to do when there's only 4 games. It's hard when there's like 14 games like tomorrow or whatever the big slate is tomorrow. But they said that he actually was on the bike a little bit in between when he was in and out of the game. And he actually started to go over or either went part of the way over to the tunnel to stretch the back. So that is a major concern. And I particularly, I'm not a huge Ben Simmons guy until I see any type of role consistency as far as from a scoring perspective there. Yes, he's always a possibility of a triple double. We know that. But if he has a sore back on top of everything else, I agree with you. And I'm glad you pointed that out. That's a great thing, Doug. And that is exactly what I read as well. So, all right. Artwork. There's somebody new as well. Lowry does well against Golden State. Okay, we'll pull some of those numbers, and some guys do spark against other teams. But welcome to the family here, Artwork. We want to have you with us every day. Everybody hit that thumbs up on YouTube. We appreciate it. Crash, break down this Dallas-Brooklyn game for us, please.
Yeah, I like Dallas. I mean, it's pretty simple for me. I mean, like I said, I really respect their defense. I just think that, Luka and Wood are probably going to get most of the usage, like we were talking about. Dinwiddie too, with Hardaway out, but not a whole lot for me in this game. Probably a couple plays from Dallas, but I'm just fading Brooklyn. I just don't like where they're at. They looked pretty good in the first half last night, and then they just completely collapsed. They're on the second night of a back-to-back. I just don't think they're the play on a 4-game slate.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, Dallas is a good defensive team. There's no question about it. And it makes you not really want to spend the money for Kyrie or Durant at 9.6 and 10K. I mean, it's a tough one. I think Nick Claxton's not bad. It's 6K, but I'm not really digging the fact that he's splitting some time with Day'Ron Sharpe. And, I can't stomach any split minutes. That's just my thing. So I'm not really going there. And we just talked about Ben Simmons with the partially sore back. And, I know he's super cheap and that's tempting, but I don't think I'm going to get to many nets here at all, if any.
Yeah. And you're not being a homer. I know you, Coach. You're not being a homer. You're giving your honest opinion. So
I am, absolutely. And to further bring that home is 12K Luke is probably not going to make my lineup. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I think he could absolutely be the top scorer on this slate. Very likely could be.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get some tough defense. Ben Simmons is a terrific defender. And if he is in decent shape, that's going to slow down Luka a little bit. And then Royce O'Neal as well. So you got 2 guys from the Nets that have had some success defending Luka. And so I just can't get to the 12K. Would not touch Bullock or Finney-Smith after what I just explained to you as far as their usage. It's abysmal and their shooting percentage. JaVale McGee is tempting to me. I'll say it again. I can't believe I'm saying it, but, especially where you can have multiple centers at 3.6 and no ownership, all we need is 25 minutes from him. And I don't like that. I like 30 plus minutes from basically everybody that I put in my lineup.
Right.
But at that price, you can definitely consider it. Dinwiddie at 5.5, just like the other day, would be a play for me if Hardaway's ruled out. We don't have that final information there. But I'm going to watch that closely. Christian Wood is the guy that is interesting to me at 7.5 because the one reason why Wood has been so terrific is he is getting run against some teams' second units. And so that is really helping him to shine. But his efficiency right now is just a joke. There's nobody, he's not going to be able to keep up this kind of efficient pace. It just isn't possible. But at 7.5, that's that kind of price that very, very tempting with a guy with that, 34% usage. So, for me, probably nothing on the Brooklyn side. Really looking at Dinwiddie if Hardaway's out and a flyer GPP shot at McGee. Christian Wood has the chance to make a main lineup for me, though.
Yeah, I mean, Wood would be kind of in that Bobby Portis role that I was looking at yesterday. But the thing is he's not the perimeter shooter, which is kind of what I was looking at with Kleba, I guess, a little bit. But, I mean, Kleba can get some boards and stuff too. I don't know. Maybe Wood is the better play. I was just kind of looking at the value for Kleba. So,
yeah, I just, as far as consistency with minutes, now he had a great, little game the other day, but I just don't know, usage, minutes, all of those pieces, tied in there is just risky, very risky.
Yeah.
But, hey, risky sometimes is the way to go. If you want to take something big down, you never know.
Right.
All right, let's get to game 2. Let's keep this train moving. We've got, let's see here. Let me find where I was. We're going Los Angeles Clippers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. That game is at 8:00. The Clippers come in 2-2. The Thunder are 1-3. The $1 million question is Paul George. He is questionable. Certainly changes everything in this game if he's in or out. Kawhi Leonard and Morris are already ruled out for the Clippers. Giddey, we know, is still out, and the rookie Jalen Williams also out. Clippers are a road favorite by 6.5, and that's probably with considering George and Leonard out. They're still a 6.5 point favorite. But you've got the dog total here of 217.5, which is not pretty. Now, here's the other thing. SGA, like I said the other day, it's so frustrating. We're going to get this every day. Is he going to play? He's questionable again. So who the hell knows if he's going to play? Now, I used him and he's the reason I got it done. But, yesterday, but can he do it again? I mean, is he going to play? Is he going to be limited? We don't have that information yet.
Right.
And I can tell you, though, from my perspective, Crash, and I'll give you all the numbers on this, I'm not steering to SGA today.
Okay.
I just think it's too risky on a back-to-back with them trying to protect him, with them wanting to be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. I just don't trust the Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, if he's not in, that's going to change my whole lineup, my whole construction, because I built my lineups around him. I just think that, well, for one, I didn't really know he was questionable. I don't know when that news came out. I haven't looked in the last hour or two. Maybe it came out then, but that's a big deal for me. Especially on DraftKings. Like I said, he's only 9,300 over there. I think that's just too cheap for the way he's been playing. Also like him at 44 on Yahoo. So, but I like the value plays here for Oklahoma City. I mean, I know they're probably going to be somewhat high owned, but I just think they kind of make my lineup work. Trey Mann, Aaron Wiggins with Josh Giddey out, I think is a good play. Jeremiah Robinson Earl has been thrust into the starting position lately, so I like him a little bit as a value play. That's probably where my value is going to come from mostly, honestly, is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then with George, he hasn't really done anything lately against the Thunder, because of Dort. The last time he played them, he did have a 62.3 DraftKings point game, but Dort sat out that game. So, yeah.
I mean, the thing with SGA is we will get that news beforehand, and we're going to know what the situation is. Like when they cleared him yesterday, they announced he was going to play, and he was going to play without limits. And
I
the
still
cool
don't
thing
see a tag on him. I don't know where that came from, but I still don't see a tag on him.
You don't see any tag on him anywhere?
Mm-mm.
I am seeing it. So we're going to follow that closely. I think that I want to know he's playing, and he's playing with no minutes restriction whatsoever on a back-to-back. They're very cautious with him. There's no doubt about it. But the great part is if he does get ruled in and he's, like they said yesterday, playing without any minutes restrictions of any kind, and he still has that little Q tag next to him on the sites, people panic and they're afraid to play him.
Yeah,
And
Anthony
that's when you
Davis
see,
last night.
yep, that was the saving grace. Real
Mm-hmm.
quickly, I want to say hello to another new person in here, CMO 614. How are you, my friend? Yes, we go over every game every day, 7 days a week in front of the paywall, and we try to go every day now at 4:45 so that we can be consistent with this. And we would love to have you, CMO, with us every day. We are the fastest growing DFS community in the world, bar none. So, we want to have you join us. Rico Harris, how are you, my friend? Yes, I did see what King of Smack said with the 3 guys he's got in. I agree with you guys. I want to see how you fill out the rest of that lineup with that kind of cash. But I believe King of Smack doesn't throw around smack unless he's talking the truth. So I believe you. All right, I have no idea how to say this one, but we have another new person in here. I rock. What does that say? So I don't say it wrong. I rock. What? No. Can you read that, Crash? I'm the worst at pronouncing these anyway.
I rock noobs, I think.
All right, we'll say I rock noobs. I don't know.
Newbies is what that stands for. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, you're in. We love you. Great to have you with us. FT Hammer as well. Great to have you with us. I love all these new folks. Keep coming in. We go over everything. So for the new people, I'm only going to do this for like 45 seconds. I promise, guys. What we do here at Coach Talk, we break everything down. Every game, we're going to look at all the important things that we have found over the last 8 years that have helped us hand build some really good winning lineups. And if you're a 150 max player, it also lets you tweak those ownership numbers that you're going to have when you're, kicking stuff out of the optimizer and trying to get those 150 lineups in there. So we do that every day. We're going to go over pace, defensive efficiency by teams, usage. We're going to look at DRPM, which is defensive real plus minus per position, all the different strategic analytic spots that are necessary. And then we like to throw in that Coach Talk mix, which is what are we seeing? What's it look like? What are those rotations look like? How are people reacting off the ball? Again, I watch most of these games and not watch the ball. I want to see what other activities going on, what's happening on the benches, people in and out of game, just a whole different additional layer. And that's what we think sets us apart. So for the new people, that's just a real quick 1-2 on what we're about here at Coach Talk. All right, so let's look right away at usage in this Clippers on ownership in the Clippers game here on OKC. Right now, projected ownership, 4th highest is SGA at 25.5% at that $9,300 mark. And I agree with that number. He's way cheaper than Luka at the 12K number. If he's playing with no restrictions, he's good to go. I'm on board. If I don't see that, I'm not going to trust it. Not with how they protect him and how the Thunder, they really don't care if they win or lose. Let's face the facts. Trey Mann, though, Crash, that one surprised me. Right now, he's the 5th highest projected player. At $5,600 and 23.5% projected ownership. Does that surprise you?
Not really.
No?
He was somebody that I was on before I really jumped into the ownership. So that's why I'm not really that surprised, because I thought he was a good play too. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. And I know, since Giddey went down, it certainly makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then we have Zubats, the $6,500 at 20%. So he was going virtually unowned. We played him a few times. He did well. Now everybody's on the bandwagon. I think it's a decent play. We know the Thunder's interior defense is not strong.
Right. He just put up 60 or whatever against him the other night. So
he did. And I don't know if he's going to be able to come back to that number, but you got to remember, he just did it against them. So certainly something that you have to consider. Then we have a big drop off to a guy that, man, I haven't even given him 2 seconds of thought of putting him in a lineup this year. And that's Darius Baisley. I know he's only 3,700, but 17% Crash.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Like I said, I like Robinson Earl, and it was 45.5 for Zubox. It wasn't 60. I'm not sure where I got that number. It might have been somebody else I was thinking of.
Maybe you're thinking about tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. But I don't know, though, because with George back, he's going to take up, a good bit of usage. So
George is listed as questionable, but expected to play from what I'm hearing. So
yeah, I bet George plays.
I think he will.
Yeah.
Here's the controversial spot, and this is the one that was definitely a knife in our spine here the other day. Norman Powell, $5,500, 15% expected ownership. I know I saw a lot of chatter in our Discord today. What are you thinking on this whole Powell situation?
Yeah, I don't mind Norman Powell on Fanduel because he's only 3,900. So that's why I'm going to go to him. I mean, he's 40.5% projected ownership, but
I know. I
still think, like I said the other day with Jokic, you have to have a short memory in DFS, and he's not going to get 8. I'll take my hat off again if he gets 8 fantasy points. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I hope not.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Yeah.
I think site specific. I'm not going to use them on DraftKings at 55, but that cheap price on FanDuel, very, very hard to get away from. No doubt. The last guy that in that top group is Kenrich Williams, believe it or not. A little bit of 3,800 to 14% projection. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's real wild. I didn't really have him on my radar at all. So
I know. That was really surprising to me. I was surprised. As far as pace of play, Clippers are sitting at 19th right now. So again, slow play. Oklahoma City playing pretty fast, 5th, which is definitely up from last year. So good pace up for the Clippers and Paul George. Definite pace down, though, for the Thunder. Defensively, this will be a little bit of a surprise to you, Crash. We know that the Clippers are always in the top 10, and they are at 7th. But here's one you would not have expected. 10th for Oklahoma City.
Wow.
Yep.
That is surprising.
Something to take note of. So, definitely some effect there. Let's look at the Clippers. And again, we're going to remove Kawhi from the floor. Again, what you could, when you go to basketballreference.com and you want to look up usage, take guys on and off the floor. And, we've got strong usage from John Wall in the minutes that he plays. He's at 33%. Usage, which is really good. You trust the minutes off the bench. Is he going to get it done in that amount of time? Is always, the wild card. And his ownership is always a little lower because of the coming off the bench. But certainly a guy that when he's in there does take advantage of that. Paul George, right at about 30%, and he hasn't really had a super breakout game yet, but that's coming.
Yeah.
Stinking Norman Powell, 23%, so at that price, man, it's tempting. Reggie Jackson is 19, Marcus Morris, 19, Leonard, 17, the ever popular Terrence Mann, 15. So interesting there too. I was a little surprised by that. And then Zubac, and that's what I played him the other day, and I was on and off. Do I play him? Should I not play him? Because he's 14% usage, Crash.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I mean, that's just disgusting for a starting center. 14%. That is a concern.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm not sure if that's how that's going to roll with me. I like him, but as far as being that popular at that low usage, it's definitely a deterrent for me. SGA, if he plays, solid 33%. We know Giddy's off the floor and Jalen Williams are off the floor, who both started out well in those first couple games. Here you go, though, Trey Mann, and I get it, 23%. Now, that's respectable when you look at the fact that he's could be the second option after SGA, because I could tell you right now, Lou Dort has not stepped up offensively. He's not playing offensive-minded basketball as he did in some stretches last season. So, for me, Trey Mann would be a better play than Lou Dort. I can say that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Lou's not that far behind him at 21%, but again, just watching him on the floor, he's like, there were times where he sort of tried to take over games last year.
Yeah.
And he's really, giving the ball up, always did to SGA. But when Giddey was in there, when Williams, even Trey Mann, those, he was really giving way to those guys and not taking charge. So that's something to concern about. Somebody mentioned, is it a Mike Muscala night? I will do this. I'll respect the fact that when he is in there, he has 20% usage rating.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
Respectable. Yeah.
4% higher than Zubats. I mean, how much? Nobody would believe that unless you really dug into the numbers, but it's crazy. Poku's down to 18, Baisley 14, Aaron Wiggins 14. I've seen some love for him. Kenrich Williams 13, JRE, your guys 13. So a lot of shaky usage numbers from that squad, but that pretty much sets the stage. So give me your take here.
I mean, I'm not going to play 8 guys from the Thunder here, especially with a 217, and which that 217 and a half is a little surprising for me. I don't know that game is going to be that low scoring. I mean, the other night, wasn't it like, what was the score the other night? I'm trying to remember.
It was definitely over that.
Yeah, it was, I'll tell you real quick here.
Joe K, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining us, buddy.
108 to 94. So, I mean, that's only.
Oh, that's not very good. For some reason, it felt like it was higher scoring.
Yeah,
maybe because Zubats went nuts.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I still think this is going to be a higher scoring game. Maybe because Paul George didn't play. I think the Thunder pulled away a little bit. This should definitely be a more competitive game if the Clippers don't win it outright, I would think. So.
Right.
I think this will be a higher scoring game than the 217 and a half total. But I like the value, like I said, for Oklahoma City. I like SGA. I do like Norman Powell. I think I was kind of the one that got that whole discussion started this morning in our Discord. And I like, who else do I like on the Clippers? Zubats, which we talked about.
Yeah.
And there's one other play that I liked on the Thunder. I can't remember who it was now.
Well, think about it. I'll sort of give you my two.
That's who I liked. Yeah.
Who?
Robert Covington.
Oh, okay. Norman Powell on Fanduel at that price, as much as I'm sour at him, is consideration. Who I really, really like today though? Paul George.
Okay.
I like Paul George today. I like him in this game. I think the Thunder keep it close enough. And I think because he had that Q tag on him, because this is the lowest game on the slate score-wise projected in Vegas, I think that he's going to go a little more under-owned. But remember that, that theory, we did it so much last year or even the year before before Kawhi got hurt. But it's one of those scenarios. You got 2 superstars with one of them out.
Right.
And it seems like the majority of the time, if it's a good matchup and the Thunder are not a good team, I think George is a terrific play. I'm not afraid of Lou Dort defense as I used to be. Yes, he's an above average defender, but Paul George has got some height on him. He can shoot over top and he's got that high jump shot.
Yeah.
I just think George is a terrific play that's going to go under owned. He will be a key play for me today.
Yeah, I like him a little bit more on Draftkings, just looking at the ownership here. He's 13.9% on Draftkings. He's 28.8 on FanDuel. So his ownership is pretty high on FanDuel.
It is.
So yeah.
I think he's going to be one of my across the board guys, though, Crash. I really do.
Mm.
I'm very
He
tempted
was-
on Zubats because I
yeah.
had him the other night when he smashed the Thunder. And, that recency makes me very interested, but I am a little wary of that usage number. But
Mhm.
the Thunder's interior defense is not very good, but they are 10th overall, small sample size as it is.
Yeah.
My fade of the day, Crash, you're going to have a heart attack here.
Is
I'm not
SGA.
playing SGA. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
playing
I
him.
knew that.
I,
Yeah.
I just, I don't trust them on back-to-backs. The Clippers can defend. They have guys that are going to stick it to them. Powell, Batum, George,
Mhm.
anybody who's got them in that rotation, those guys are stoppers defensively. And I don't trust SGA. I think he's going to go very over-owned, in my opinion. And I would prefer going to the cheaper option of a Trey Mann at 5'6" as a
Yeah.
secondary option. He's really stepped up since Giddey went down. And that's the only guy really that from a value standpoint I'm interested in on the Thunder side. But I'll have one guy on each side in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it. It was SGA that had the 60-point game the other night in that game. That's who we were thinking of, or I was thinking of.
Yep.
And because of that, and because of his price, the difference between him and Luka, and even Morant for that matter,
Yep.
he is going to go high owned for sure. So I get.
I mean, he's been absolutely phenomenal. There's no question about it. But I don't like the matchup for him, and I don't like the back-to-back. So
okay. Well, my fade was Paul George, so this is interesting for sure.
I know we're on opposite ends of the spectrum today, but that's fine. That's different opinions are what make it go around. It makes things happen. That's for sure. OKC not back to back, says my boy Callie. Did they not play last night? Was that the night before? Am I losing my mind?
It might have been the night before.
Take a quick gander for me.
I think it was the night before. Yeah. Yeah, it was the night before.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go to SGA, but I'm gonna remove him as my fade play then. That's my mistake. But let's keep an eye on that for sure. So not my first choice, but not my dead fade. So sorry about that mistake. I don't know what I was looking at there. Why I'm not sure what I said. What's that?
I said it happens to the best of us.
It does. So still not my target, but not the fade potential as I was thinking. But thank you for bringing that up, David. My mistake. All right. As far as far as the rest of the guys go here, though, I mean, I'm trying to see if there's anything else that jumps out to me. Kenrich Williams with that 15%.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Surprising.
I don't get it.
I don't get that either. I mean, I know he's decent defensively. I just, I don't believe. I know everybody likes to play Reggie Jackson against his old team, and he in Oklahoma City and all that, but he has not looked right either.
No, I haven't liked him anytime I've watched him.
Yeah, he just doesn't look good. So not that's about the end of that one for me. Really.
Yeah, me
not
too.
My favorite. All right, game 3. Miami Heat, Golden State Warriors. Heat come in 2-3. Golden State's 2-2. So 2 more teams that not exactly flying out of the gate. Victor Oladipo and Mr. Yurtseven still out for Miami. DiVincenzo and Iguodala out for Golden State. Golden State's a 6-point favorite, which, respectable. 227 total here, which is the second highest on the slate. DiVincenzo and Iguodala out for the Warriors. Interesting matchup here. And how about Clay getting thrown out? I got to mention that the other day. That was wild, wasn't it?
That was crazy. Yeah, it was definitely crazy.
I was surprised. First time he's been thrown out ever. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. All right, statistical wise, Miami is 26th in pace, Crash, playing grind out ball just like Miami does.
Like they always do. Yeah.
Golden State is number 1 in pace, though, in the entire league. So huge pace up game for Miami. which
Mm-hmm.
makes me a little interesting as well. No question about it. Defensively, though, here's the stunner: 14th and 20th. We're talking Miami and Golden State, known for their defense, two top defensive teams from last year, 14th and 20th defensively. That blew my mind, and that's a something both teams need to correct,
Yeah.
without question. So we'll see. We'll see how that gets adjusted here. But in this game, it brings some interest into play. Let me ask you this question, Crash. Pop quiz for you. Who leads the Miami Heat in usage? One guess you get.
One guess. Oh, Tyler Hero.
You are right. Very well done. But here's a great stat to tell you what Spoelstra coaches there and how they share the ball and how they win as a team. Listen to these numbers, dude. It's unreal. Hero fit 25% usage. Butler 24.9, just barely behind him. Bam's 22. You've got Strus and Vincent at 19. Lowry at 17. Caleb Martin at 15. And then even their guys that come in off the bench contributed a decent amount. So they're sharing the basketball. Nobody's dominating the ball. And, that creates a little bit of a shaky DFS situation because you want a few standouts, but on any specific night, you're getting some of these guys, that are going to step up. Some are not, because if you're averaging at 20% usage or whatever, like a lot of these guys are, you're going to have 15% usage nights, in the mix, and that makes it a little bit tough because the Miami guys aren't cheap. On top of that,
Right.
So,
right.
But it's not the same type of balance quite for Golden State. Curry's up to 33% usage, which is impressive. Clay, who's not played great basketball, although he probably will now that Barkley was talking a bunch of trash about him.
Yeah.
24.5% for Clay, 24% for Poole, 23% for Wiggins. So there you go. Their top group, very respectable. And then you've got a bunch of guys off the bench that come in that 15 to 18% range and all contribute. Wiseman, DiVincenzo, Moody, Kuminga. Here's the surprise for you, though, Crash. Mr. Draymond Green, 13% usage.
Wow.
That's a surprise. Now, I know he doesn't normally shoot and all that, but still, that's got to be his career low.
Yeah. You know how cheap he is right now, too?
Well, that's why. He's not getting the opportunity.
5,700 on DraftKings. I can't look at that and say, I'm not going to play that. I just can't.
13% usage screams out to me of desperation.
But I don't know. I think he'll be on the floor quite a bit because they'll probably use him to defend Bam. I don't know. I like Draymond Green tonight. So,
all right. We are going to have possibly opposite lineups. Zero guys and we have to build a two brains are better than one Fanduel. And we disagree on like every player. I love this. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Garage Junkie Productions. Welcome to the party, my friends. I hope our new friends are still with us. I hope we have all these new people with us that are staying involved. We'd love having some new folks to the party. How about ownership, Crash? You want to take a quick glance at this game from the DraftKings side of the coin? Top owned right now, projected Tyler Hero at $7,200 at 21.5%, and deservedly so. Then you've got Draymond, who I just pointed out, 20% ownership because he's only 5,700. If you can accept 13% usage, more power to you. Jordan Poole, 18% at only 5,900. I think he's a much better play than Draymond myself. Caleb Martin, though, that's going to be the $1 million question for people. Caleb Martin, 4,600. That's it. And he's getting 18% usage. He's getting the minutes. He gets the peripheral stats and usage, or in steals and all the little pieces of the pie there. So definitely a guy to consider. Your man Bam, $7,300, 17%. So he's starting to shake the rust off a bit, looking like he's coming back into it a bit. Andrew Wiggins, only 15% owned at 6,900, but some respect there. And that's really it. So this game isn't getting wildly over owned by any stretch of the imagination for the game that's the second highest total. So very interesting here, especially in the fact that neither one of these teams playing anywhere near the defense that they have been playing in the past. So we will see.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you thinking? What are you using here?
Well, I know I just talked about Draymond guarding Bam, but I do like Bam a little bit. He's 7,300 on DraftKings, 7,000 on Fanduel, 26 on Yahoo. Last night, he was one of my plays that I really liked, and he got into foul trouble, but he had a really strong finish to that game. So I like the way he's been looking of late. I know earlier in the year I say it like they played 30 games or something, but the first couple games he didn't look right, but the last few he has. I think he's kind of putting it together now. So I do like Bam Adebayo. And the other play I think a lot of people are going to go to that I'm not going to go to is Max Strus.
That's just an overreaction.
Up and down, 33.8, then 4.3, 36.3, then 16.5, 36.3 last night. So he's probably going to put up 15 or 16 tonight is my thinking.
There you go.
With that trend. So don't like that. Jimmy Butler, I think a lot of people are going to play him. I would rather play Andrew Wiggins personally. I think that Wiggins is playing almost at the level that Butler has been. And he's 6,900 versus 8,600 for Butler. So I lean towards Wiggins. And then, as I already mentioned, Draymond Green. I like Wiseman a little bit as a value play as well. So that's probably about all I like on this game.
Yeah. For me, I'm looking at Tyler Hero. 7.2K is a little pricey, but since he's in this starting role this season, I like that he's more involved and scoring more.
Sure. Yeah.
I think Kyle Lowry's, man, he might be close to out of gas soon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't think he's at the level that he's played. But I mean, he's been around a long time. So I think a lot more of that falls on Hero's shoulders. And so he's still in consideration for me. I think Caleb Martin, for the role he's been playing with them, is too cheap at 4.6. I have interest in Caleb Martin here as a value play. Definitely think he's a sneaky guy to sneak in there.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm still not trusting Bam, though. I just don't see him having a monster game. If 7.3 is not exactly a giveaway, but it's fair. I mean, it's a fair price for him. The question that's interesting is Steph at 9.9. That's a big number. And, my only concern usually with Steph when he's teetering at that 10K number, he is still points dependent. Let's face it. Not that he can't get that, but it's it is a little bit stressful when you look at, even though Miami's not played that good a defense, their defensive scheme, they're good at taking top players away from the other squad. So I can't pull the trigger on almost a 10K Steph today.
You think he'll see Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, he's going to see a couple of different guys, and Butler will definitely be one of them. He'll get some Caleb Martin too, and he may even get a little Kyle Lowry. There depends on the rotation, but all those guys can defend. So, so I'm just not going there. I do like Wiggins' price though. The fact that he's still sub K, 7K, and playing at the level he is, he's the guy that I would look at along with Jordan Poole. I like Jordan Poole at 5.9. So I mean, there's so much value. Not the dirt cheap min price guys, but I think 6.9 Wiggins, 5.9 Poole, guys like that in a game that's going to have some points in it are pretty good deals. I really do. I don't think you have to spend the absolute Brinks truck on Butler and Curry here. I think you can get the secondary guys to get it done for you.
I agree.
Excellent. All right, Discord check here. Anybody, chat check here. Do we got anything else going on? Who else is in here? Travis Wyndham has finally joined us today. How are you, Travis? Doug L says Green is scoring more points, though. Yeah, well, I mean, that last game, he got some backdoor layups and stuff.
Right. I was going to address that. I mean, he's 4 for 6 against Denver, 3 for 4 against Sacramento, and 7 for 10 against Phoenix. So that is a stat that would lead me away from Draymond because regression is coming from scoring standpoint. But I think he'll get blocks and steals and stuff like that and be able to get 30 to 40 at 5,700. I mean, I just think that's a really good value.
Yeah, it is. I just, again, I want more volume from my guys. And, the points he scored in that last outing were backdoor spread offense, kind of, cuts to the hoop. They weren't like create your own shot kind of stuff at all.
Yeah.
Somebody else asked about somebody. Who was it? Earl. Somebody wants to know about Earl.
Yeah, I like Jeremiah Robinson Earl. I talked about him earlier because he's been starting lately for Oklahoma.
JRE. Yeah.
Yeah. $10 on Yahoo. That's the best spot for him, in my opinion.
Yeah, where you can get him at a min price like that, maybe. But I'm not doing any jumps on a 4-game slate with some quality guys at that position. I don't know. I'm probably not going to go there. All right, sir. We've got one more game left. Let's knock this out so people can get on down the road. It is 10 o'clock. Memphis Grizzlies 3-1 against the 0-3 Sacramento Kings. One thing is sure: life, death, taxes, and the Kings stink. I mean, that's
defense, especially
poor guys. I do have my favorite play though on the slate in this game.
John Morant.
No, okay. But he's right up there. In this game, Memphis is a 3-point road favorite, so only favored by 3-1 against 0-3. Sounds like one of your bets you lose your hat on, but we won't go there. Here's the key though: 236. And a lot of times I think they overhype the highest total game. I don't think they're overhyping this. I am going to have the most exposure to this game because I do think it's going to be the highest scoring game.
Yeah, I do too.
By quite a bit. Maybe by like 10.
Yeah, my lineup today started with me building a stack around Memphis. So, yeah.
I could easily have 4 or even 5 guys maybe from this game. Probably 4. But, I think it's just a perfect matchup. Pace of play, terrific. Memphis 14th, which is good. Sacramento's 9th. Neither team's playing any D, though, Crash. Memphis, who was a top 5 defensive team last year, is second to worst in the league. So they're 3-1. I know it's a stupid sample size, but the bottom line is he's a defensive coach, and they have the second worst defense in the league to start the season after 4 games.
Good.
Sacramento's 24th. So you have 2 teams woefully struggling defensively, and they do have some explosive players on this squad. So let's talk about some chalk. Where's boy from Cali? Evil chalk, evil doer, whatever the heck it is. Desmond Bane, highest owned projected player on the slate, tied right now, 28.5% on DraftKings. Mr. Desmond Bane at 7K. My favorite player on the slate today is Keegan Murray, the rookie, $5,500. He's chalk city, 28.5% as well. At that price, a volume shooter when he's in there against a team not playing great defense. All I can eat Keegan Murray today for me, Crash.
I haven't really had a chance to look too deep into his game yet. The Kings, I've seen them play once, and he didn't play that much. It was I think it was the first game of the year against Portland. But
came off the bench.
I know you're high on him. So I definitely think that I thought about playing him. I will say that.
Think he
Um,
shines tonight, my man. I really do.
yeah, yeah. Well, my thought was he was going to have either. Isn't he like a small forward or is he a power forward?
He's a 3, but he's
Okay.
big. He's a tall 3. He's good. He could play either
Mhm.
spot. He's a
I mean,
3-4,
would he
but
get Desmond Bane's defense though?
oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
I
can
think that was my original thought was that Desmond Bane was going to give him some trouble.
you know, I
Um,
I think Bane's not quite as rangy as a Dylan Brooks if Dylan Brooks was in, and I just think that
yeah.
I think he's just gonna be mismatched a bit. He may even get some Harrison Barnes.
So you think
Or
Brooks
I
will
mean,
be
not
on
Harrison.
Herder then? Is that what you're thinking?
What's that?
Do you think Dylan Brooks will be on Herder?
Uh, you know, here's the thing. Let's take a look at this.
I mean,
So,
they need Morant to have the quickness to keep up with Fox. So
yeah, I mean, it's good. I think you're gonna see. Let me see. I'll predict the matchups here. Um, Obviously Morant and Fox and Adams and Sabonis. So the question will be Bain, Brooks, and Aldama and Herder, Barnes, and Murray. Um, I think you may see it just like that. I think may see Bain on Herder and Brooks on Barnes and Aldama
Barnes.
on
Okay.
Murray.
Okay.
Because I don't think Aldama, I think he's a better matchup for Murray than Barnes. Bain's a little too small for me to guard
Mhm.
Murray. I think he'd take advantage of it. He'd take him to the block.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I know he's 6'8", and Desmond is 6'6", so a
yeah, but
bit of a height
Murray
advantage.
plays a little bigger. He
Yeah,
does play a little bigger.
right.
Um, again, I just don't. I mean, they can try Brooks on him, but Brooks, he hasn't played, so
Mhm.
he's just getting back into the flow barely. So, uh,
Wait a
I think
minute.
this matchup is good. I
Yeah,
really do.
I know who Keegan Murray is. He played for Iowa. I remember watching
Correct.
the Badgers play against him. Okay,
He
yeah,
did.
yeah, I know who he is. Yeah,
He's a
yeah, no,
scorer.
he should be a good play then. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
So we'll
click.
see, and they'll mix that up. They'll mix it up a little bit, but I think Brooks will still probably check Barnes. I would be surprised if he didn't.
Mhm.
But we will see how that shakes out. Let me give the rest of the ownership here. Sabonis 6th overall at 8,200. So he's the most popular center on the slate at 22.5% ownership. And then Ja at 10-2. There's my pay up guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save the $2,000 from Luca and take Ja. And I like Ja better than SGA for
Mhm.
sure. And I just love the way he's playing, man.
Yeah.
He is his usage. I'll go over that too, and everything else. Um, this guy is superstardom, man, no doubt
Mhm.
about it. And
Mhm.
I just think he shines in this game. Uh, I think they're going to have a hard time guarding him. And again, I think Sacramento stays close enough that he can really, really have a good game. So
Yeah.
super high on him. I'll eat the chalk at
Me too.
22% is not bad.
Yeah,
That's not
not bad
bad.
at all. No, not on a
Not on a
4-game slate.
4-game slate, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And then you've got Steven Adams, 18%, 5,400. So another cheap
Mhm.
center you could go with.
Yep.
Tyus Jones is very tempting, only 4,600 bucks at 17% projection. The guy playing awesome ball too, De'Aaron Fox. You cannot deny how De'Aaron Fox has started this season. He's
Right.
8,700 bucks, 17.5% ownership. Then
Yeah.
this is the one that I need your opinion on, Crash, because
Okay.
it's really bugging me. Dylan Brooks is only 5,300 bucks
I know. Yep.
and he's
And
17% owned.
and
That is a scary commodity.
5,000 on FanDuel. Yeah, he's one of those guys I just can't get away from today. I mean, I've tried to make lineups without him, but I always end up putting him back in there. I just think he's too cheap.
I know I've been going back and forth and I don't really want to play him, but the value it just it's hard not
Mhm.
to because
Yeah.
he's gonna get the minutes.
Pace up
Um,
game, bad defense. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
I think it's a really good spot for Brooks.
yeah. The other guy that's value in this game that's also getting some ownership that's very tempting is Kevin Herter. He's sub 5K. $4,900 Kevin Herter at 16% projected ownership. I think that's tempting as well.
Yeah. I mean, he might get Desmond Bain or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a pretty tempting play. Yeah.
I'm probably not going to go there, but whenever you sneak a guy under 5K that's going to start and get productive minutes, it's tempting. And then your favorite player in the history of the National Basketball Association, Santi Aldama, $5,200, but he's garnering very respectable 14% ownership. Looks like.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I still like him, but I don't think that he's like a lock and load for me tonight. I mean, he's still in play, but I don't know. It's tough. There's quite a few plays for a 4-game slate. There's quite a few plays that I like on the slate. So
yes, Nathan, I like Sabonis better than Bam.
Me too.
I am not on the Bam.
Bam. Yeah, and I said what I did about Bam, but I still like Sabonis better.
Yeah. I like Sabonis tonight. I absolutely like Sabonis. Yeah, Banchero and Murray are going to be very, very good. No question about it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Boy from Cali says, can't play Ja. Brooks will be shooting threes all night. So I see. So you think Brooks is going to take away from Ja? I don't know, brother. I get the fact that Brooks gets in there and he thinks he's Michael Jordan. I know he does, but it's 1,000,000% Ja's team in a game where, I think it's just a perfect spot for him to shine. And Memphis has not been defending well out of the gate. Let's face it.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see. Monk great value according to MB. Interesting. Malik Monk getting some call out.
So in the last 5 games against Sacramento, Dylan Brooks has no less than 31.5 DraftKings points. He has a 49-point game spread in there.
So. Yeah. I mean, at that price, that's why it's hard to get away from. I mean, he's certainly not in form right now. I mean, he's he missed the beginning of the season here. So yeah, it's a little dangerous. He could bust. There's no, he's one of those, talk about high on the boom bust chart. He is definitely high on the boom bust chart. Yeah. All right, let's go over usage real quick, and then we'll have you break it down. Again, my reasoning for Ja, and I know, if Boy from Cali thinks it's because Brooks has been out, it's just because Ja's a damn stud. 36% usage. You start teetering up there, in the upper 30s. That's no joke. Bain at 26, Brooks at 25, Tyus Jones 23, and then a big drop off to all the single digit or low teens guys, Brandon Clark, Aldama, just their guys off the bench. Conchar. Here's one for you though, Crash. If you're thinking of playing Steven Adams, EIGHT, 8% usage.
Wow. Okay.
That ought to scare some people.
Yeah, that should definitely scare. And here's something that might scare some people too. Ja Morant has averaged 30.8 DraftKings points against the Kings in 7 games against them. So they're doing something against him.
Yep.
I don't know. That's interesting to me. I mean, I don't think he's gonna score that few of points, but I mean, they're doing.
They've blown him out too sometimes.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
And he had a few games he was injured and was limited. I looked through that as well, and it's a little deceiving. If he is right now at 100%, and he's going full bort, and I think that will continue. All right, let's jump onto the usage for Memphis, or I mean Sacramento. A little surprising here for me, at least. De'Aaron Fox, would you believe 34% usage?
Yeah,
so
based on what I saw from him. Yeah.
I mean, he's not just playing really good ball, and we're all touting all these other guys. 34% is an attention grabber for me. And Sabonis only 21%. So again, he's a little costly. He's a great player. He can contribute in a lot of ways, but still getting into the groove, I think, with them. That's a lower number than it needs to be. Herder's at 19. Keegan Murray, he's 17, but that doesn't count. He didn't even start the first few games, and he's a little dinged. He's full go, no restrictions, ready to roll now. And then you've got the quickly fading Harrison Barnes at only 13. So, you definitely don't want to go there either, in my opinion. So that's what I'm looking at. So what do you have from this game then, if you're stacking it up?
Well, so I have, of course, John Morant, Desmond Bane, like we talked about, Dylan Brooks, like I talked about. I can't get away from him. Yes, I do like Santi Aldama. On the Sacramento side, De'Aaron Fox. Of all the pay-up point guards, I think he's the best value, obviously, at 87, 88, and 37 on Yahoo. And then Sabonis, 9,000 on Fanduel. I think some people might stay away from that price, and I think that's the best spot to play in.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If I can make it work, and I'm going to have to do some juggling here, but I'm not going up to the big money of Luka tonight, which is very painful. I'm not going up to the SGA money. I'm not going to the Curry money. I want to have a Ja Morant versus De'Aaron Fox head-to-head battle here. That's my goal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. I like it.
And those guys are playing fantastic basketball. It's a premier game. I think it's a great game, and I'm hoping to get there. Cheap wise, I wouldn't mind getting to a cheap Dylan Brooks, a cheap Keegan Murray. Those are my go-to cheap guys there. I'm tempted on Sabonis, but I don't know if I can find a 2,
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's tough.
But I'm going for the young, fast point guard duel here, Morant and Fox, because you know what? Neither one of them are known for
defense.
Correct. And so I'm hoping that they do a little Olay for each other. You score 38, I'll score 40, and that would be beautiful.
That would be. I like it.
All right, that is the 4-game slate. We're going to do a 2 brains are better than 1 FanDuel build. We've gone way over time today, too.
I know. I was about to say, I think we've gone longer than you and Deb the other day.
I don't know what's going on. It's 4 games. We've lost our marbles. I guess when I do usage and all that, it gets a little bit carried away.
Yeah.
But I certainly hope that everybody is enjoying the information, and I love the fact we got a lot of new people. I'm going to give away the 2 tickets now for people that don't play FanDuel and don't really care to stick around for the 2 brains lineup. I'm going to give away the money now. If your name is called, jump on, if you can, real quick on Twitter. DM us at DFS Coach Talk, at DFS Coach Talk. Just let me know your PayPal email, and I will shoot that over to you immediately. So you can play that either a couple of the $3 tickets for the Millie Maker on Sunday. If you don't want to wait for that, you want to play on NBA tonight, then I'd say go for it. So, all right, the randomizer is on. So hopefully, if you're here, you said something, because it's going to choose somebody out of chat. So here's the button. Boom. The winner is, it's a new person, Crash. It's FT Hamma.
Okay.
Did we even say hello to FT Hamma? I don't even remember saying
but we're saying hello now.
Hello, FT Hamma. How you doing, man? Congratulations. Pretty good at hockey matchups. NBA seems a little more challenging. Well, you know what? You got a couple of freebie plays now, FT Hamma. So shoot us your name. PayPal will get that to you right away. Congratulations and welcome to the Coach Talk family. All right. Before we give away these 2 brains are better than 1 lineup, hit the thumbs up, please, on our wonderful YouTube channel here so that we can move up the charts. It's your turn to pick first, Crash.
Yeah, I think it is. I was just going to look at here some news that we've got that just came in.
Okay.
Tim Hardaway will play, So
that
that's
takes
going to hurt.
Dinwiddie out.
Yeah, that's going to hurt Dinwiddie. That's what I was about to say. Ben Simmons will play, won't have any limitations per Coach Nash. Joe Harris is out.
Yeah.
That's all I got so far for news. So
okay, that's good updates.
All right, so let's see. First pick, I'm going to take. You know me, I take the value plays.
That's good. Let me spend the cash. I'm fine with that.
$3,900 Norman Powell.
Oh my gosh. The first pick overall.
First pick overall.
Gutted us the other night. You want him at small forward or shooting guard?
Small forward.
All right.
Well, we'll see. But
all right.
For now, small forward.
I'll take De'Aaron Fox.
Okay. And I'll take John Morant.
Okay. I'm going to take Keegan Murray.
Small forward.
Small forward, yeah.
Okay, 5,200. That's good. Can't get off it. Dylan Brooks, small shooting guard.
Brooks, okay. Oh, Crash, what are we going to do here? Let's see. Let's go with... Man, center really is a challenge today.
I like Zubats.
Yeah, I like him. I'm just so afraid of that. That usage scares the crap out of me.
You can go with JRE for some value if you want. Or you can go with your guy McGee. You were talking about him.
I know he's only $4,500, but I'm gonna go Zubats.
Okay.
He was my initial. I mean, even if he doesn't have the game he had against him the other day, he just needs to get 2/3 of the way there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still in good shape.
Please don't be mad at me.
Oh no.
I know. $3,900 Maxi Kleba power forward.
Oh my God, the worst pick in the history of two brains are better than one. That's okay, man. Hey, yeah. I'm dead wrong as much as I am right. So, we all are.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm wrong because Maxi, I want Dallas to do well, but
right.
It's a painstaking choice, I have to say. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to really surprise you here. I'm going to go ahead and take power forward Domantas Sabonis.
9,000. Okay.
Because I think that price is going to scare people.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are going to see 9,000 Sabonis, $9,700 Durant, and go with Durant, which I understand. But we're stacking that late game as much as we can,
Yeah. So let's do this. I'll save you the heartache of Maxi Kleba.
Thank God.
I'm going with Aaron Wiggins at shooting guard, and I am going to go with
Aaron Wiggins or Andrew Wiggins?
Aaron Wiggins at shooting guard. It didn't help me as much as I would have thought, but I still like 6,100. That's a little bit. But you said that people are going to Ben Simmons at 58, right?
They are.
So maybe Draymond will be the good play then at 61.
Okay.
Leaves us with $500.
All right. So for some reason, I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Is it? Let's see. I have Fox, Morant, Aaron Wiggins, Dylan Brooks, Keegan Murray. Who am I missing?
Norman Powell.
Oh, I'm missing Powell. Number one pick.
So bad you didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got.
You wouldn't even put him in your lineup.
Norman Powell, Draymond Green, Domantas Sabonis, Ivica Zubats. Right. That is the two brains are better than one lineup. $500 left on the table. Never be afraid to leave that, $500, $600 on the table. Always very, very good to do that. So, all right. Anybody else? Let's see. Any other comments? No other questions? I think that's it. All right. Well, good. Great stuff, Crash. Appreciate it. Hopefully that gives everybody a good insight into a statistical look and sort of laying it out there. We've got in about 20 minutes. We will be posting lineups in Discord. So,
yeah, 20 minutes, and then we got 30 minutes before our NFL podcast. So
we went over an hour and a half on 4 games. So Deb's not the long-winded person anymore. I guess we are.
Yeah.
I can't blame her anymore. Doggone it. It's up. All right. Appreciate all of you. Hopefully that gives everybody a good look at it. Tomorrow's going to be a fun one. We'll shorten as we go over the games because there's a million games tomorrow, but it will be at 4:45 again. Welcome to the new folks that jumped in. Hopefully you'll be with us every day. We appreciate it. If you didn't hit the thumbs up, hit it on the way out and come and join us at dfscoachtalk.com. So appreciate it, Crash. Thank you. And see you again tomorrow when we look to crush it in NBA DFS and Boom Fantasy.